Good evening. Tonight at 9 o'clock, meet the woman who's being treated as India's most wanted criminal. 3 central agencies from the CBI to the Enforcement Directorate and the Narcotics Bureau are now investigating her as accused number 1. Arrest Rhea are trending hashtags. She's been called a witch and much more. But what does the 28-year-old woman at the center of India's most sensational media trial have to say? What is her side of the story? Joining me tonight is Rhea Chakrabarti. Rhea, you've heard this introduction that I've just said. You're accused number 1 in India's most sensational case at the moment. It's like we have nothing else to worry about. What exactly is your reaction? I'm sorry, I think Rhea's just going to come back. Let's just play what the father of Sushant Singh Rajput said today about Rhea Chakrabarti.
रिया मेरे बेटे सुशांत को लंबे समय से जहर पिलाया करती थी। वो इसकी हत्यारी है। जांच एजेंसी को चाहिए कि रिया को और उसके सहयोगी को अविलंब गिरफ्तार करें और उसे सजा दिलाएं।
Sushant Singh Rajput's father today said you murdered his son. Your reaction to that?
I mean, it's extremely hurtful that someone who's going through a loss this big, as am I, does not understand what this could be doing to me. I loved his son. And it's just beyond me to understand that, is there no humanity? I looked after his son. At least have the humanity. If you don't like me as his girlfriend, at least have the humanity that now that he's passed, respect his love for me, if not mine for him.
Mm-hmm. You know, Rhea, in a sense, you can put down Sushant's family, their characters to their grief. But what's actually now become the huge issue is the fact that today a senior BJP leader said that the anti-terror agency, the NIA, should investigate your role in this case. As I said, we've already got the CBI, the ED, the Narcotics Bureau investigating your role in this case. It's almost, I mean, I think there were similar cases when they were fugitives, or as Swara Bhaskar said today, Kasab wouldn't have been treated like this. What would you say today, you're 28, when you are being investigated by 3 central agencies? What's your reaction to that?
It's really difficult. Me and my entire family are going through scrutiny every day. Today there was a mob at my doorstep. My father was harassed, he was touched, he was hit. My watchman was beaten up in my building, inside the premises. They are not just harassing me, but the entire people living in the society. Tomorrow, they might ask us to leave. What are you doing to this family? I would like to ask everybody this question. What are you doing to this family? We are being grilled. We are being part of every investigation. We are doing all our duties as law-abiding citizens. But why can't you wait for the result to come? And if you don't have faith in the legal system, you should leave India. Because I do. And my family does. And that's why we're still alive, or we would have committed suicide too. With the kind of allegations and the accusations, treating me worse than a terrorist. My father served the nation for 25 years as an army officer. And you are treating this family like we are terrorists, when all we did was love a boy.
Rhea, already you've seen the reactions to your interviews have come that your interviews are PR interviews, they're soft interviews. The fact is this interview is going live right now. We're not editing anything. But the allegation being that you're using this for public sympathy. Why have you decided to speak out today? Do you think you're going to be arrested tomorrow?
No, I don't think I'm going to be arrested tomorrow because I have not done anything worthy of being arrested. But I feel the need to speak because my mother is now on the verge of a mental breakdown completely. She might have to be moved to the hospital. My family is breaking. My father is being pushed around and almost physically and mentally lynched at. I have to do this for them. What about my family? What about what we are going through? And I didn't speak for so many days out of respect for Sushant. And what was being said was so absurd that it irked me, it hurt me, that they are destroying his memory. They're destroying him. Have respect for the person who's gone at least. At least fact check.
You said
what is up with journalists in this country? It's dead.
You said just now, Rhea, that your family and you often consider or think that maybe you should just commit suicide. Now, that's a very strong thing to make. It's something which shouldn't be said lightly. Why are you saying something like that? Is it something to gain sympathy? What are you going through right now?
I'm just broken, and I'm trying to find strength every day for me and my family. The only reason we're still alive is because I'm speaking the truth. The kind of mental, emotional, physical pressures on us are unbearable. Any other person going through such a situation, or any other family, might consider the same. It's unfair, it's unjust, it's without proof. And the whole nation seems to have decided what they have decided. Based on what? Based on a few false allegations, based on a few reports saying absurd things.
Well, you know, Ria, I think the main point is that what's got lost in this was the tragic death of a young man, but also why the nation is because of the fact that the Bihar government got involved in this. The Bihar government, the Supreme Court agreed for a CBI probe. The fact that agencies, and I have this with me, are leaking documents are showing WhatsApp messages of you with people who they say are talking about drugs, with alleged drug dealers, according to the agencies. So now you've got the Narcotics Control Bureau involved. What would you say with these WhatsApp messages which apparently show you talking to a dealer about get me MD, talking about weed, etc.?
I have never spoken to a dealer in my life. I have never taken drugs in my life. I'm willing for a blood test. I deny all these allegations, and I would like to save the rest for when the investigation takes place, because anything I say will get misconstrued.
But as these WhatsApp messages show, and you said Sushant was taking drugs or he was having weed.
Yes, it's unfortunate that we have to speak about him in this light. But it's not been done by me. The Pandora's box has been opened by his family. They have put these allegations. I wanted his memory to be pristine and beautiful, because he was a beautiful boy. But in turn, these allegations are being put on me. And the fact remains that yes, Sushant used to smoke marijuana. And I tried my best to control him, to make him stop. This was the only department where I was trying to control him in something. I was trying to make him reduce it, in fact. And I have been put in a position where, unfortunately, every single private detail of my life or my friends' lives, a simple "I am sorry" is taken and blown out of proportion, and me being treated like I'm worse than a terrorist, my family's mental health being destroyed. This is like the systematic breakdown of an entire family.
But in a sense, Ria, did it begin when you first tweeted to the Home Minister of India asking for a CBI probe into it? Did you actually open that Pandora's box in a sense yourself? The fact that the Supreme Court has accepted, and I again want to read out, they said that the Bihar FIR should be investigated, which includes the claims of Sushant Singh's father, where he says in his FIR that when you left on June the 8th, you had taken cash, jewelry, laptop, credit card. You were handling his bank account from which crores of rupees were withdrawn, that you had threatened to show doctor receipts to the media and prove that Sushant Singh was mad and then no person would give him work, and that on June 8th, Sushant's secretary Disha committed suicide. You had appointed her as a secretary, you blocked Sushant's number, and Sushant was afraid that you would frame him in Disha's suicide. These are the Bihar FIR based on his father's complaints.
Ma'am, they're completely baseless, and they are worse than rumors. I never took a single rupee from Sushant. My bank statements are there. I'm already being probed by ED. This 15 crores they're talking about does not exist now that Sushant's bank statements are out there. It's a very big amount. It would have been found. It cannot be hidden. It can't disappear into thin air. We had a company together where we were equal partners, where we all gave 33,000 each. No transaction was ever made in that company. I was not isolating Sushant. He met his family on several occasions in November. In January, he in fact went to Chandigarh to his sister and brother-in-law O.P. Singh's house. He came back from there. Why did they let him come back if they think I was isolating him? In February, they met him again in Mumbai, where they're sitting in a cafe, having food and smiling at each other. Why were they making these complaints about me, saying, get that girl and whack her? That was the message to a senior cop in Mumbai police by Sushant's brother-in-law. Why were they making that and this? It doesn't make sense to me. If you thought that you had your brother-in-law, you had Sushant sitting with you at a cafe, you should have told him what you felt. You should have taken him back with you.
Why did you tweet the Home Minister asking for a CBI inquiry? Do you think there was foul play in Sushant's death? Do you think he was murdered? Why did you do that?
I was not there from the 8th to the 3rd to the 14th. I want to know what happened in that 1 week, whether it was suicide, whether it was murder. If it was suicide, what drove him to that point? Because he always told me that he would never take such a drastic step. And that's what shakes me. And that's why I want India's apex institution, which is CBI, to come and investigate this. And I asked for CBI inquiry before the Bihar FIR. Long before the Bihar FIR. I don't know how people have turned this around and made this that I don't want CBI. I have faith in CBI. I have faith in the government. And that is why I'm still alive.
In fact, it's not just about people when you say generally, it's become a huge political issue. You mentioned also in your statement to the Supreme Court that this has become about politics. There's a Bihar election coming up. There's also the fact that you have political party leaders targeting the Maharashtra government, targeting Minister Aditya Thackeray, saying that he's linked to this case in some way, and that's why the Mumbai police was going soft on you.
And the Mumbai police never went soft on me. They were in fact extremely harsh. That was one harsh investigation. ED was another. CBI is going to be another harsh investigation. And each investigation takes away a part of my mental health. Because to the world, it's like, investigation karo, investigation karo. Yes, I want the truth to come out. So I'm cooperating, but not by targeting me. And I have been the center and the person who was most questioned in all of these investigations. And as much as I want to know the truth, I don't understand why nobody's questioning the fact that his sister, Meetu, was there from the 8th to the 13th. She left on the 13th. If she felt his mental health was not okay, if she felt that he was upset because of me or because of Disha Salian, then why did she leave?
Do you feel, because at that point when you're saying the Mumbai police went into this completely different thing where they were interviewing members of the film industry on issues of nepotism and whether he felt bad of being left out or sidelined from the film industry. That was one completely different investigation. Now, you've been questioned by the ED. What is the ED focus on with you? Because also the agencies are leaking stuff which seems damaging to you as well. Reports of a car flat that has been bought, which is not clear where the source of money is. The fact that you're being investigated for money laundering is a very different investigation from the Mumbai police.
It's really sad. My entire WhatsApp chats, anything and everything is out there. It's only been given to all the agencies. I have not given my phones anywhere else. And it's really sad that I have no privacy left. My friends' numbers are being flashed on TV. I am being accused of everything under the sun, and nobody is asking me what really happened. And that's why today I feel it's time for me to speak up, because this one-sided narrative has completely destroyed every single person in my house.